welcome back. Our brave adventurers have not so subtly gained entrance to the JuJu house. What will they find within? Let's get to our Keeper of Secrets to find out.
Standing in the darkness of Ransom Court, Lex skillfully applied pressure to the flimsy shop door of JuJu house as he assessed its strength. Across the cluttered courtyard in the mouth of the alleyway that led to West 137th Street, the others hid as best they could. For the angular, shabby tenements that surrounded this place seemed to lean in with interest, their dark windows staring blankly, holding their breath in silent anticipation. Suddenly, two thuds, followed by the splinter of wood and screech of twisted metal, rent the air. The door to the African Art Emporium was off its hinges, and Lex was heading inside. His three companions duly followed, hearts racing and guns to hand. Inside, the shop was pitch black. Lex could feel the clutter around him, and he knew he was in a small space, but beyond that had no perception of the room's layout. A strong, musty odour was pervasive here, and the air felt oppressive and unpleasant. Taking a step forward, he heard the boards creak beneath his feet, as he became aware of the sounds of his colleagues dashing up the sundered doorway behind him. Lex knew that the time for consideration was over. The game with JuJu House had so far been a tie. Now they were in overtime, and someone had to win. Hey, Lex, you are inside the room, inside the JuJu House. What are you doing? It's pitch black, as I said. You can't see anything.
I'm waiting for the others, because I believe the others have torches.
Okay. You're all running forwards into the doorway. Have you all got your torches on, or are you just telling the ones to come in, or what are you doing?
As we come in.
Yeah, as we come in.
Okay.
Have we already put the door back in place?
Yeah, you kind of prop the door. You prop the door against the door frame. Okay, so you can see the crowded shop. The rest of you kind of shine your torches around the shop. You can see the various African tribal fetishes, masks, and other antiquities scattered around in the cabinets in the centre of the shop and all the way around the walls as well. As it's kind of dusty and grimy, you can see cobwebs as you flash your torchlight around. You scan the rooms and reveal nothing other than the counter, which you saw Silas and Kwane standing behind when you previously came into the shop. Behind the counter is a heavy, dirty red curtain that you remember from the previous visit here was half drawn across in front of a doorway. This time it's completely drawn across. That's all you can see in this room. Can you all make listen rolls, please?
Yep. That's a pass.
Anybody get extreme success? Fail. Okay.
Fail.
Just a regular.
Okay. Nobody hears anything at this stage other than the noise that you're making entering. So what did you say you were doing?
I'm going to go across to the curtain and pull it back to expose the door.
I've got my gun out and I'm going to stand by the door that we've propped up, watching to see whether anybody's coming towards us.
So you're standing. Are you watching outside then, or inside?
Yeah, I'm just going to sort of peer out. I'm assuming the door isn't completely sealing the.
No, it's too knackered for that.
So I'm watching to see whether anybody comes down the
alleyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Stanton, what are you doing?
I'll point my gun through the gap that Jacob makes as he pulls the curtain back.
Okay. Jacob pulls the curtain back and you see a door there. What are you doing, Lex?
I will support Douglas by the door.
Okay. So you're just staying by the door.
Yeah.
Okay. So, right. So you run forward, Stanton and Jacob. Pull the curtain back, Jacob, and reveal the kind of dirty, scratched door behind it. Can you make a listen roll?
Was that me as well as Jacob?
Yeah, both of you. Yeah.
That is a hard success.
Okay, Stanton, you can't hear anything at this stage. But Jacob, you can hear the sound of creaking steps, as if someone was descending, maybe some sort of ladder.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to turn to the others, put my hand up against my ear, make a listening sort of symbol, and a walkie fingers symbol, and point through there, and then I'm going to open the door.
Okay. Okay, you throw open the door, and you look into the room. The room beyond is a similar size to the one that you're currently in. No more than about probably about 25 feet across by maybe 20 feet. And it's a bedroom, bedsit of some description. You can see a bed directly in front of you. There's a dirty rug line on the floor. You just kind of get the impression of some maybe kitchen. You get like a kitchenette off to the left of you. There's a big wardrobe standing right next to the door to the right, but your attention is drawn to two men that are climbing down the ladder from the loft. Both of them look to be of African descent, and are quite large and muscled. One of them turns to look as he gets to the bottom of the ladder, turns to look at you and basically runs straight at you.
Shoot.
Okay, right. Okay. There's another one coming down the ladder as well. Okay, how many you get to shoot first? You had your gun in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, roll. How many shots are you firing?
All three.
Okay.
First one's an ordinary. Do I get any kind of penalty for 3, or is it?
Yes, for 3, you get. Yeah, you have to. It's worth 1 penalty dice, but you're also in. I'm seeing how close you are. Yeah, you're not quite at it. Spare me a second, just try and make sure where you are. Yeah, you're actually at point blank range by the time. So the point blank range negates the fact that you're firing 3 times. Sorry.
Okay. The first one's an ordinary hit.
Okay.
The second one's a miss, and so is the third one.
Okay. So the first bullet finds its target. You roll the damage.
2.
Okay. You only really kind of wing the hit the large African American man who's running towards you. Kind of hit him in the top of his leg. But you can see pain etched across his face as he carries on running forward, but doesn't seem to slow him down. He doesn't seem to have anything in his hand. He's not carrying any weapons. But he comes across the room with an alarming speed, and he's on you before you can do anything else. Okay. Okay, he swings a huge haymaker at you. What are you going to do?
Dodge.
Okay.
Attempt.
Dodge roll, please. What did you success? What did you get?
32 is the success.
That's an ordinary success, is it?
It's an ordinary success, yeah.
Okay, so he swings a huge punch at you, but it is telegraphed, and at the last minute, you just managed to dodge out of the way. As he swings past you, you feel like it probably knocked you out had it hit you. But yeah, the man's almost carried off his feet with the momentum of the punch. Right, okay. Stanton, you're standing right there as well. What are you going to do?
Sorry, did you say that this chap's off balance?
Yeah, he's just run forward and just tried to swing a huge haymaker at Jacob, who's managed to dodge out of the way.
I will point my gun at him and tell him to stop and kneel down.
Okay. Right. Okay, it's a new round. So okay. That was kind of a surprise round, as it were. So we're now into the first round proper now. So we're looking. So Jacob, you have your gun leveled, so you can. So you fire first if you wish to. Obviously, he's right in front of you, point blank range. But Douglas, you can act as well. In fact, Douglas, you can act first, but obviously you're quite a long way away from the current situation.
Yeah, I'm through the. I can't. Can I hear this? But I can't see it. I'm assuming.
Yeah. So yeah, you. Yeah, that's right. You can hear it, but you can't see. You can just see the back of both your colleagues. Like you can see Jacob shooting through a doorway, but you can't see anything else.
Okay, I'm just going to stay put, and I'm going to kind of keep my gaze outside and keep glancing back to how they're progressing. If they look like they're losing, I'll reconsider. But for now, I'll stay put.
Okay, Jacob, you've got the man in front of you who's literally just tried to punch you. He's reeling in front of you, and there's another one at the bottom of step ladder. He's advancing menacingly as well.
I'm going to back into the shop with my gun raised, held in both hands, straight out in front of me, trained on the guy who hit me, and shout "Stop!"
Okay.
Sort of retreating as I go, just step by step.
Okay. You back out, shouting "Stop!" And as you do so, the man who you just shot kind of freezes, standing, looking at you warily with his eyes trained on your gun. Have you got a gun as well, Stanton, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was pointing it at him.
Okay. Both of the men kind of stop and just standing there in the room now.
I shout, "Kneel down, both of you."
Hands on your head.
Okay. The one at the front, who right in the doorway, kneels down on the ground. Can you make a perception roll, please? Both of you.
I don't seem to have that.
No, I'm trying to find that. I think it will be a fail anyway with 79, but
Yeah.
So, I
roll
mean,
anyway.
it's spot hidden. I meant. I don't know why I said perception. Sorry, it's spot hidden.
okay,
Yeah.
Ah, no.
fail.
Oh,
Okay.
failed miserably.
Okay. Both of you. Basically, the guy at the back, who was as you kind of, your attention is momentarily drawn to the one at the front, who kneels down. The guy at the back has drawn some sort of throwing knife and has launched it at you. Okay, the knife fails to find its mark. It smashes into the wall next to around the door frame, and you see he spins on his heels. That guy and runs towards the corner of the room, the far corner of the room. The other ones are staying put. What are you doing? And what are you two doing? Are you staying by the door, Lex and Douglas?
Yeah.
I'm not. I will move up.
Okay. So you've got one guy kneeling down in front of you, and you've almost got your gun. Both of you got your guns trained on him. The other one is running towards the far corner of the room, which looks like there's a door in the far corner of the room. You think it might be a toilet or something?
I run for the guy who's heading for the presumptive toilet.
Yeah. So to be able to do that, though, you are going to have to go past the one who's kind of kneeling down in front of these other two guys.
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
I will do that. I will
Okay.
be confident that they've got him subdued.
Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
keep my gun trained on the guy who's kneeling down.
Okay, has
Okay.
he put his hands on his head yet?
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, conscious of the fact that both of you have got your guns trained on him, he does nothing as Lex runs past him. What's your move, Lex? 8. Okay. The man you're chasing is quick, but you are too, Lex. So the door. He flies in through the door into a very small room in the corner of this bedsit area, which is a toilet. And you see that he jumps onto the toilet, and you can see that the bars that are in the window have been taken out, and there's a gap. He's trying to climb out through the window.
I'll try to tackle him and bring him to the ground.
Okay. He sees you coming. Obviously, can you make a brawl roll then, please?
I have a success.
Was that a regular success?
Regular success.
Okay. He tries to dodge out of the way of your grapple, but you're a little bit too quick, and your grip is a little bit too strong for him, Lex. You do bring him down. You literally grab hold of his legs as he's trying to climb through the window, and pull him back down into the room. You end up kind of, he's basically being held by you now. Okay.
Okay.
You're grappling in the toilet. What are you doing? The two of you with the guns.
Stanton, keep him covered, and I'm going to head through the room and up the ladder. We wanted to try and do this quickly, so I'm not going to waste any time.
Okay, you're going to head up the ladder, right?
I'll shout at him to lie down, face down, hands on your head.
Okay.
And
And Douglas, you're still staying, looking outside in the doorway, yeah?
Yeah, waiting for the inevitable police to turn up.
Okay. Lex, you're brawling with each other, so he is going to try and break the hold. Okay, so can you make another brawl roll, please?
Oh, I have rolled 100.
That's not very good, is it?
Popped your stitches.
Don't give them ideas.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so you feel a really bad pain in your side.
Yeah, and Simon's not allowed to be the GM ever.
As you realise that you've overexerted yourself, and like as you grab turn to like grab your side, wincing in with agony as the wound that is nowhere near healed begins to give you searing pain, and he pulls himself free of your grasp and jumps out of the window. Okay. What are you going to do, Lex?
I think I'll just have to shout out he's getting away.
Let him go, get the photos, and let's get out of here.
Okay. I shall let him go.
Okay. You let him run off down the street, yeah? Are you okay? That's fine. Jacob, you go up into the loft. You poke your head into the loft space and you look around. The room looks different in as much as there's the table still there with a lamp on that you remember seeing, but there's a large pile of crates now in one corner, which you quickly deduce would be piled in front of the spy hole that you were looking through. The rest of the loft doesn't. It looks quite similar to how it was previously, but a lot of the African trophies and fetches have been removed. So the Kenyan flag's still there, but there's no sign of the headdress that you saw, nor anything else that would be anything other than what's probably down in the shop itself. There's also no sign of the book either.
So there's nothing that would connect with the murders, not the headdress, not the knives or anything. No.
No.
I'll just have a last look around, just a good check before abandoning.
Okay.
Is there anywhere where anything might be hidden?
Okay. I'll make this roll for you. You can't see anything anywhere. But I mean, obviously there are the crates that I mentioned earlier, so there could be some stuff hidden inside those. I guess if you wanted to go and have a look.
I just I'll push them over just to.
Okay.
Do.
Okay. Meanwhile, what are you doing with your captive downstairs, Stanton?
If Lex has come back, I'll say, can you grab his belt and tie his hands? Maybe his feet. I'll look around for some rope or string cord.
Okay. As you say that,
and gag him as well.
And as Lex is coming out of the room behind, and you're kind of addressing Lex, telling him what to do. He suddenly springs up from his kneeling position and tries to. Well, he basically just runs directly towards you, Stanton. What are you going to do?
I will try to stand aside and then pistol whip him.
Okay, that's fine. So you want to fight back. So he's going to try and push past you, which is a brawl roll, and you're going to fight back. So make a brawl roll as well, please.
Oh, that's a success.
Well, you got a 23, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So you got a success. He got a fail. So you stand aside as he's trying to basically just push past you and get out. You stand aside and you connect solidly to his skull with your pistol on the butt of it. I'll tell you what damage that does. What damage does your kosh do, Simon? Have you got it noted?
Yeah, I do. It is blackjack. Does 1d8 plus damage bonus.
Okay.
Right, so 1d8 then.
Okay, I think it's probably a little bit less effective than that, so I'm going to say 1d6. Okay.
No problem. Basically, what I'm trying to do is not necessarily cave in his skull, but just knock him down.
Yeah, I know. I realise that. Yeah, so 1d6 plus your damage bonus.
Yeah, I don't have a damage.
Okay, so
I'm a librarian. God damn it.
Okay, so you connect on the side of his head quite with your gun, but you don't hit him with sufficient force to actually prevent him, well, to knock him to the ground basically. And he kind of runs through. He pushes past you and through the doorway into the shop itself. Kind of runs round the counter, knocking over all sorts of the wares as he's going. So Douglas, you kind of spin, you turn around and you can see this large African American man, blood pouring from a head wound and also from a hip wound as well, running directly towards you. His eyes are wild. What are you going to do?
Okay, shout back on the floor, and if he doesn't, I will shoot him if he gets too close to me.
Okay, what are you doing, Stanton?
I will follow up behind him.
Okay, you're following up. Okay, and Lex, you're obviously just come out of the room, so you're following as well. Okay, Douglas, he doesn't show any sign whatsoever of stopping. There is a mark of mania in his eyes as he runs towards you.
Okay, I'll step out of the way and let him go.
Start shouting in something in African that you don't understand.
Okay, so is he heading straight for the door?
Yeah, he looks like he's trying to get away, basically.
Yep, I'll let him go.
Okay, you step out of the way, and you let him sprint out into the street. Okay, he runs out into the darkness. Jacob, you've searched through the crates. Most of them are empty. A couple of them do have some things in, but they're just kind of wares. The same sort of thing that's downstairs in the shop. Nothing of really any import. You think that they've? Well, it seems like anything that could be have any possibility of being incriminating has been moved.
Okay, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going straight back down the ladder.
Okay.
And as I do, I'll say there's nothing incriminating up there. It's been cleaned out.
Well, quick, look for a cellar entrance or something. I'll go back. Yeah, look for a trapdoor. I'm going back to watching the door.
Yeah, I'll look for a trapdoor in the back room.
Okay. You're searching for a trapdoor in the back room. You quickly scan around and you can see that there's no trapdoor visible in any of the bare floor area. There wasn't a trapdoor in the toilet. There is a rug by the bed, and there's also in the front area there's a rug as well in the shop. But the rest of the floor is you can't see anything on it.
Okay, I'll go to the one in the front, hoping that that's about the same distance as the trapdoor next door.
Okay.
The pawnbrokers.
So you're going to pull back the rug. There's like a sickly kind of violet-coloured rug that's stained and ripped in places directly behind the counter. Yeah. So you're going to pull that back. Simon, Douglas, you're looking out for police still.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are the other two doing? Lex.
I will head down to help Jacob.
Okay. What is Jacob doing currently? Is he still there?
I want to find his internet connection.
Okay.
He was climbing back down the ladder, wasn't he?
Okay, so he's come down the ladder. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You pull back the rug. There's no real sign of anything there. You just see the kind of the wooden floor beneath it.
Okay. I'll try the other rug in front of the bed.
Okay. Okay. You pull the rug back beneath the bed as well. Again, with a similar outcome. You don't see anything. Everything still seems to be quiet outside. Douglas.
It's set up. How long has it been? It's literally only been like a minute, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, maybe a couple of minutes max. Not yeah.
I'll just look around for any loose floorboard, and I'll look under the bed with a torch. See if I can see the trapdoor there.
Under the bed. Okay. You look around with a torch under the bed. Okay. Now you scramble around there. Doesn't seem to be anything untoward other than like detritus clothes and you can see that there's a lot of clothes in here that would obviously be the size and the kind of and the African style of Silas and Kwane. A lot of them are quite dirty and they don't smell very nice either.
Is there a wardrobe or a chest? Stuff marks on the floor.
There's no chest, but there is a large wardrobe.
Okay, I'll have a look in there. Carefully open it with one hand. Point my gun with the other.
Okay. Lex, Lex, is Jacob back now?
I am, yeah. So I dropped. I don't know what happened there. What did I miss?
Well, basically Stanton is just searching around the room for both rooms to see if he can find anything on the floor, but he hasn't found any kind of a trapdoor or something. He hasn't found anything yet. He's pulled back the rug in the front shop and had a look. You've been just coming down the ladder and you've been in the back room with Lex. Lex just came out of the toilet. Kind of holding his side, wincing in pain. Douglas is still at the front. Were you here when the one guy legged it?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Stanton's just been searching around basically to no avail. He's just pulled the wardrobe door open and is pointing a gun at it. You point your gun in and you see again just lots of African style clothing. There's also some suits as well. Kind of browns and greys, which again the size of them would suggest they're probably Nkwanes as well.
There's a counter, isn't there? Because Silas, just looking on the floor, does the counter look like it's been moved? There's scratch marks on the floor.
Directly behind the counter is the rug, but you can't see any scratch marks. No, you You look at Well, you mean if they were moving it backwards and forwards across the wood? You mean?
Yeah, so maybe there's
Yeah.
a trapdoor underneath the counter. Is the
Yeah.
counter? Yeah, so a piece of furniture. Could we move that piece of furniture and see if there's a trapdoor underneath that?
There's it's a large glass cabinet counter, and it's really heavy, and you
Okay.
don't think looking at the floor, you don't see any scratch marks at all that would suggest that it's been moved.
Is there any other furniture that could easily be moved?
Not really. Looking around, you can't really. No, I mean, there's all the stuff around the walls, which are all cabinets. No, I mean, you don't see anything that would fall into that category, really.
Looking at the width of the back room,
Mhm.
and compare it to the width of the front room.
Yeah.
Could there be a door or a corridor leading off the front room that we haven't seen?
Okay. Let me show you a picture. Hopefully everybody can see that. On roll 20, I'm
Yep.
looking at now.
Yeah.
I'll just
Mhm.
move my-
Right. So can you see my pings? No, because I can't even do pings.
Nope.
Pings aren't working. Okay. So at the bottom,
Right.
at the bottom end of the picture is there. That's where the door is that you came in.
hmm
That's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that's where you are. The counter, there's like a horrible pinky rug. That's it. And then the one to the south of that is the big counter that we were just talking about. Where yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Then you got the door that you went through to the back room. The other rug that been looked under by Stanton. The toilet's off to the left where Lex tried to grab the guy. And then on the far right hand side, you'll see the ladder going up. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then bottom right of that back room is the wardrobe.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
then the kitchen-y things on the other side.
Yeah.
Is
Have
the
we
kitchen,
looked
will the kitchen thing move?
Okay, you're gonna go and have a look around the cooker and that
I'm not
kind of-
going to. I'm going to. Oh, no, yeah, I
Mm.
can't see from here. I can't see from where I'm because I don't have to move. Okay, I'm going to move away from the door and have a look around. Help everybody else search.
Okay.
Does the cooker move?
Okay. No, it doesn't.
Did I miss us looking under the pink rug? Have we done that yet?
Well,
Yeah.
we say
Yeah.
Well, only Stanton has. Stanton's looked under the pink rug. Stanton's looked under the other rug in the bedroom.
So I'm going to pull the rugs back completely, roll them up.
Yeah,
Roll
well, I
them.
missed something. And under the pink rug, is that about the same place that the trapdoor is next door?
It's hard to tell, but
Mm.
you reckon it might? Yeah, I mean, it can't be far off.
That's roughly the center. It's roughly the center of the.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Unless they've moved it, so that would be the most likely place. Then have a look at examine the floorboards
Okay.
under where the pink rug was.
Okay. Douglas, you kind of kneel down, having taken the rug all the way back and examining the floorboards. You realise that there is an outline of a square where it looks like the floorboards have been cut out into a square and then just kind of dropped back in. But it's been really well done, so it's really really difficult to see.
Okay. I'll get my penknife out and I will lever up the first.
Okay.
I'll go off to the front door and then keep watch on the front from there. While Douglas does that.
Okay, you lever up the floorboards, which doesn't take very long at all. And under that, you see what looks to be a stone floor. And in the stone floor is set a square piece of stone with a big ring in it. Again, an inset ring that you would need to pull to lift lift what looks to be a stone trapdoor up.
I'll head on over.
Yeah, one for Lex.
I'll head over to let Lex go and do what he's obviously going to do.
Okay, Lex, you bend down, and can you make a strength roll, please?
I have a success.
You strain your side even further, and because you're wincing and holding it, it is actually a lot more of an effort than it should be for somebody of your brawn. But you do still manage to pull the trapdoor out. You lift it up, and it kind of with a rumbling stone sound. You see a very narrow ladder which leads down into the darkness. Shining your torch down, I presume.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Okay. So you lift the trapdoor and lay it back on its hinges. It reveals a set of steps that are barely wide enough for one person. The steps lead down. You reckon about maybe. Well, you can see as far as the torch goes, the steps lead downwards. They're quite steep. They don't go directly down. They actually go like they're actually steps rather than a ladder. Okay. They lead down about 20 feet, and then you can see that they end in a corridor.
Let's go down, gentlemen. We need to make this quick.
You want me to stay here keeping watch?
You'd be better placed downstairs. I'm a better shot and better at talking to police than you are.
I won't disagree with that.
I'll draw
scuttle across the floor.
Oh,
I'll draw my gun and my torch and head down the stairs first.
I'll follow
Okay.
Jacob.
And I'll follow
Oh.
Lex.
and I'll take up position by the door.
Okay.
As I go down, I say to Douglas, pull the rug back over us.
Okay. So
Okay.
you're going to go down and you're going to put the really heavy stone.
No, I'm not going to do that
No.
because
The
just
rug.
the rug.
Oh, just the rug. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
For the
Got it.
comedy moment when someone walks over the rug.
They
Yeah.
falls through it.
Yes.
Although
Can I do that with the trapdoor open? Or was the trapdoor? I mean, it's pulled up, so
No, you can't really, because the trapdoor is kind of it's set in. It's like on a hinge, as it were. So
Okay.
it doesn't come completely free. You could lay it. I suppose you could put something under it so it doesn't go all the way back down and then lay the rug, but it's still going to it's going to look
It's going to
pretty.
be obvious. So just leave it. We'll just
Yeah,
leave it.
yeah.
You can get.
Yeah.
That'll be well, if somebody does come in, we can hopefully direct them downstairs to show them whatever it is that's down there, which would explain why we're here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. As you head down the steps, Jacob, you're at the front. You feel as soon as you get halfway down, you kind of begin to feel really cold. You feel like all your skin turns to goose flesh and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. It just feels really, really wrong. Really, there's something not right at all down here. You glance around you, like shining your torch around, and you see that the walls, the ceiling, and the floor are all stone, and the ceiling is probably about 8 feet or so above the floor. But there are symbols cut into the stone, all sorts of kind of different tribal symbols, maybe. Just odd-looking symbols that are inscribed all over the place, and in no real order, almost like that. They're just chaotically inscribed. You see, there's at the end of the corridor is a large doorway, a heavy wooden door which looks to be bound with iron. There's a kerosene lantern which hangs in the centre of the corridor, but it's unlit.
Will I shine a light on the symbol so you can get a decent photograph?
I'll quickly light the lamp actually as well.
Okay, so has anybody got anybody with anthropology skill?
I have a tiny bit.
Okay, so make a roll then. Okay, yeah, you've got absolutely no idea, unfortunately.
Definitely French.
When you say a tiny bit, I have a tiny bit.
I have a smaller amount, but certainly,
Okay.
Do I recognise them with my wonderful anthropology skill?
Well, make a roll. Let's see.
Definitely not. No.
Okay, you're both equally as wrong about what they are. In fact, you can't even hazard a guess as to what they are. You've never seen them before, ever. Okay, so you said you're going to light the lantern.
Yeah.
Okay, it's really weird because you light the lantern and it's kind of like it's almost like the corridor kind of grabs the light. It doesn't really, even though the lantern's lit, it hardly makes it any lighter. It's just a really, really strange sensation. Maybe it's just all in your head. You don't know. It's just a corridor.
How does the door open? Does it have a handle or?
There's quite a big lock in it, and it has a knob that you turn.
I regret this, but I'm going to try the door.
Yay.
looking at the symbols, so I
Yeah.
don't recognise them belonging to any particular civilization. Do they look occult in nature?
You can make a roll.
If they are cultish, then that would be a success,
Okay.
normal success.
Jacob, do you want to make a roll as well? Because I believe you have quite a high occult knowledge.
No, not quite.
Okay, Jacob, you're not really sure. In fact, you've just given up looking at the symbols because you're too busy messing about with the kerosene lantern now and looking at the door. Yeah, Stanton, you've obviously read a lot and read books and looked at a lot of symbols in your time. They kind of look like they look like they might be African, which obviously would make sense considering their location. But all you can think is that you have some vague recollections of some of them, at least a couple of the symbols, being some sort of a symbolizing of evil.
And I'll let the others know. Don't recognise their origin, but I do think these are evil occult symbols, similar to them anyway.
So Jacob is going to grab the door handle. The rest, Lex and Stanton, you're obviously standing behind him, yeah? Just looking around. Okay.
Yeah. If he looks like he's going to open the door, I'll lift my pistol and hold my torch ready.
Okay.
Shining.
And I'm getting impatient upstairs.
I was just about to say, what are you doing upstairs?
I'm waiting.
Hold on a second. I just need to stop. What's the matter? Hold on a minute. I'll be back in a sec. Right.
Quick, let's go through the door while he's not listening.
All the bad guys are standing around going like, going they're nice at the weekend. Oh, damn it,
They're just flicking through their diaries, trying to cover their digital watches.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Dog was having some sort of weird fit. Okay. Yeah. So I was just going to ask. Yeah, Douglas, what you? I mean, obviously they haven't been down, and they've only been down a couple of minutes, probably. But
no, I'm listening, but I'm paying more attention to the door and thinking, what the hell am I going to do if the police do turn up?
Okay. You make a listen roll for me.
Look, through all my whistling, I don't hear anything.
Okay. Yeah, everything's quiet, and all you can hear is just whistling and stuff, and the wind, the icy wind outside, which is quite cold, blowing through the door, which you can't close. Okay. Yeah, Jacob, you grab the handle on the door quite reticently for some reason, but you turn it. It doesn't open. It's locked.
Have a go at the lock.
Okay. You need to make a locksmith roll, but unfortunately, because you broke your best lockpick earlier, you're going to have a penalty die on this.
Well, that would have been a success.
Okay,
So
so
D10 to replace the first one. And that is not a success.
You curse the lock upstairs.
Bugger. Stanton, I can't open this. It's locked.
That's been about another 5 minutes whilst you're waiting for Jacob to do that. So, Douglas, that's another 5 minutes has passed.
Maybe there's a key upstairs. I'll run back upstairs.
I'm going to come back upstairs as well.
What's like, Stanton, what's going on? You need to get moving.
Corridor with the cult symbols. Big iron-bound door that's locked. Can't get through. Wondering if there's a key in here somewhere. And I'll go into the bedroom and search the bedside tables.
Okay.
Give Jacob come back up.
Yeah, I'm following Stanton.
I'll throw in my set of lock picks. So use those.
Thank you. I'll head straight back down.
Okay.
I'll take photos of these all these symbols whilst they're doing all that.
You're taking photos of all the occult symbols. Okay, excellent. Cool.
Because cameras are a thing.
Okay, I'm not gonna. You don't have to make a roll for that because their own. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Right. So you're going back down armed with some more lockpicks. Okay. So
issued lockpicks.
Do you want to give it another go then?
Here we go. It's the success.
Okay, armed with fresh tools, you push the roll and you open the door. You hear a satisfying click. Well, you're not really sure whether it's satisfying or not, actually, but it's a click nonetheless. And the door is no longer locked.
I'll shine the kerosene lamp. That will hold it in one hand and got my gun in the other hand and look through.
Okay, you look through. You see a chamber, a stone chamber that's probably about 30 feet wide by maybe 20 feet across, with a high 15-foot ceiling. All the surfaces are of dressed stone, and they all contain, also are inscribed with cults, with symbols of all different types, sizes, and shapes. But these are all different to the ones that you saw in the corridor. They actually, you focus on them for a second, and they actually give you you feel like a pain shooting through your temple as the symbols seem to swim around in a kind of alien manner. It's quite an unpleasant experience. There are torches in sconces on the walls, but they're not lit. There are some large drums set to the left, and various other adornments around the room. And more or less directly across from the doorway that you're standing in is a large curtain, which is drawn across what you assume must be some passageway or alcove beyond. The Okay, it's pretty much all you can see from here because the door isn't. The door obscures the rest of the room off to your right, unless you step in.
I'm going to step in.
Okay.
Follow him.
Okay. In the far end of the room. So as you go step into the door, you look to your right now, past where the door would have been when it was open. There is a large slab of stone set across what looks to be some sort of maybe wellhead or hole in a shaft in the floor, because there's a big kind of pulley system that's been designed. It looks like with a chain which is connected to the block, a large winch. So effectively a wellhead or a pit which is covered by a stone block which has a winch on it.
I'm going over to the. Who else is here with me at the moment? Is Lex here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lex.
Okay.
I was looking for the key upstairs, and when I can't find it in the bedroom, I will put my head at the top of the steps down. Ask quietly, "How's it going? Have you got it open?"
Yeah, get down here and start taking some photos while I continue to investigate. I'm going to go over to I'm going to go over to the curtain to begin with.
Okay. You cross over part to the curtain, kind of skirting around the edge of the large covered pit. The curtain itself has a load of odd symbols embroidered into it. It kind of shimmers in an odd way. What are the rest of you doing? So you got Jacob's going across to the curtain. Lex, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm following Jacob.
Okay, across the curtain as well. And then Stanton, you're on the way down basically at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Can I get you to roll, Douglas? Can I get you to roll another listen roll, please?
Mm-hmm. No.
Okay. All is quiet up above still. Okay, you're at the curtain, Jacob. What are you gonna do?
Is it sort of flush against the wall, or rather than sort of separating two parts of the room, or?
Yeah, you think there might be like an alcove beyond it, or maybe a corridor. It's definitely separating two parts of the room instead of being flush.
I'll pull the curtain back.
Okay. Just before you pull the curtain back, can I get you to make a perception roll, please? You just put your hand on the curtain. Spot hidden. I mean, I don't know why I keep saying perception.
That's a success. That's a hard success.
Okay, Jacob. Just as you're about to pull the curtain back, suddenly you're a kind of a waft of a vile, rotten stench hits you. Basically. It smells absolutely disgusting. You've smelled like dead bodies before, and it smells like that. It almost kind of makes you recoil. The strength of the stench.
I'll step back for a second and say to Lex, something's dead behind there.
I'll bring the camera up, ready.
I'm just going to tie a handkerchief around my face just to try and blot out some of the worst of the smell, and then I'm going to pull the curtain back.
Okay. You pull the curtain back. The stench is almost unbearable as it kind of hits you even harder. You see a small kind of 6-foot square alcove curtained off from the main chamber is revealed. There are some items and bits and pieces strewn around the alcove, but your attention is drawn to the fact that there are 4 humans standing in the alcove. You're horrified to see that the first one, whose dead eyes look at you, is Jackson Elias. You see the horrible symbol that was chiseled into his forehead, whilst his intestines hang around his knees. There are flies everywhere. The other 3 are all in similar condition. 2 other men and a woman, all with the symbols inscribed in their foreheads. And all of their undead eyes flick open, stare at you as they begin to lurch forward. I think you need to make a sanity roll, please.
Oh, that's a fail.
Okay, it's a failed sanity roll.
Me too.
Yeah, because he's pulled the curtain back, so you can see these things as well.
Success. There's no such thing as extreme success in this, is there?
Yeah, you can still get an extreme.
I'll roll a 6. That's an extreme success.
Okay.
You're separated due to watching it through the camera.
Yes,
Yeah.
I got the camera up. Clicky, doesn't count.
Okay. Jacob, you let out a cry of horror And you lose something.
Your breakfast.
Okay. Oh, 4 sanity. Okay. So you're taking. You kind of stand back and scream, shout in horror as you see these things. Lex, you just click away with the camera, not realizing what you're doing. But they are advancing out of the alcove. Jacob, you didn't have your gun out, did you?
I did. Well, I did, but I don't think I could have had it in my hand as I was pulling the
No,
pulling the
exactly.
curtain. No.
And nor did you, Lex, because you had the camera in your hand, didn't you?
Correct. I haven't
Yeah.
had my gun out the whole time.
Okay, right. Okay, this first of these creatures lurches forward out of the alcove, which is you can't. It's horribly. It is the reanimated body of Jackson Elias. It staggers forward, waving its club-like arms at you, Jacob. What are you going to try and do?
Dodge and turn tail and run screaming out of the room.
Okay, dodge. Make a dodge roll, please.
It's a fail.
Okay, attack. Okay, that's also a fail. Okay, so we've got kind of gore dripping from its mouth. It swings an ungainly broken arm at you. Even though you didn't manage to dodge out of the way, it just flaps at you, hits you, but doesn't really hurt you. Okay, Lex. Another one of these corpse creatures they move with surprising speed and comes hurtling towards you out of the alcove. What are you going to do?
I'll put the camera down and
Yeah, you can either dodge or fight back.
yeah, I'll fight back.
Okay, make a brawl roll, please.
Hard success.
Hard success.
Yep.
Okay, so right. Okay, so the zombie swings at you. Again, it's an ungainly attack. You manage to sidestep and you can aim a punch at it, which you do. So you roll your damage. 4
damage.
Okay, you smash your fist into its chest. This is a white man, who was a white man in his kind of middle age. And as you do, your fist kind of disappears into its chest cavity, collapses through the rotten flesh and bone, and then you kind of pull it back out again. But it doesn't really seem to have any effect on the thing. Just carries on attacking in a frenzied manner as it was before. It's now Jacob. What are you going to do?
I'm going to shout. I'm carrying on and shout, "Lex, get out of here!" And I'm going to head back up the steps.
Okay, you're just going to run off then, basically. Yep. Okay. Okay, and Lex, are you going to follow?
Yes, I will follow the instructions and leg it.
Okay. You both leg it out of the room. Stanton, you're coming down the steps and into the corridor, and you see the other two. Well, you see Jacob first. His face is completely white, and his eyes are wide with terror as he sprints towards you.
Oh dear, I was going to fish out my camera from my
I'll scream, "Run!"
And as he shouts, "Run, where's Lex?"
Behind me.
I'll wait for Lex to come through and then close the door, pull the door closed, and then run.
Okay. You're going to go because you meet them kind of halfway down that corridor, so you're going to have to run past Lex, and unless Lex pulls the door closed behind him anyway.
I am not. I am just running.
You're just running. Okay. You glancing back over your shoulder, or you just legging it?
I've got the camera. I'm going. I'm just going.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm so far, I'm not going to run all the way back down, close the door, and then run back. So
no, that's what you have to do. Okay. Right.
Yeah, I'll just go straight up the stairs.
Right. You're compiling out the stairs. Douglas, you can hear a whistle now. A policeman's whistle. Quite. You're not sure how far away, and then that's followed by another, and then a bell ringing.
Hey, time for us to get out of here, guys.
I'm just heading out as quickly as I can.
Okay,
what's the quickest way to the car from here? Is it through the alleyway or is it through the old pawnbrokers?
No, back up the alleyway.
Okay, well, we'll run up the alleyway, and because I'm first, I will get the car started.
Okay.
Actually, I can't because I don't have the keys.
No, you
I'll
run to the
stand
car.
next. I'll stand next to the car, waiting for
I'm
someone
pretty
with the
quick.
keys.
I'll be there soon.
Okay, you all run full pelt out of the
Yeah, I was
out of the
hoping
JuJu house.
before we leave, I wanted to close that stone trapdoor.
You're going to put it back down. Okay.
And then pull the rug over.
Okay.
And if it's too much for me, I'd say whoever's closest, ask them to help. Although Jacob's gone, hasn't he?
You can push it down because it's obviously the weight
Yeah.
of it helps. It's only pulling it up that's the hard bit.
Okay.
Okay. You push the trapdoor down and then put the rug back over it, and then you run the rest of them.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You get to the top of the alleyway. Your car is parked across the road, and you just run, I guess, across the road.
Yeah, I'm waiting by the car,
Okay.
looking a bit quizzically because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Okay, you all run across the road to the car. There's no sign of any police at this stage, although, again, you can now hear the sound of bells and another whistle, maybe a block away.
I shall jump into the driver's seat as soon as I get there.
I'll jump into the passenger seat.
I'll jump into the
Okay.
back.
I'll go
Okay.
into the back.
Right, you jump into the car and you gun it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Leave Harlem. Get the hell out of Harlem as quickly as possible.
I'll turn to the people in the back seat. What the hell happened?
I don't know. Jacob,
It was
what's
Jackson.
up?
It was Jackson. He was brought back from the dead, but he was still dead, and I think the other victims as well.
I've got photos.
What, like the vampires that we saw in Peru?
Yes, it was hideous. He was the stench. Oh,
Right, let's get somewhere safe and then we can
Mm.
talk about this. But you've got
Yeah.
photos, Lex.
Got photos.
That's something. Right, let's get out of here.
Where are you heading to?
That's a very good question. We're safe. Nowhere. We need to go somewhere that
I don't know.
we're not known. Head north, Lex.
Okay.
Just keep driving till we get out of the city. Let's find a diner and a motel. But I don't think we can go back to our homes tonight. Gonna have to
Okay.
lay low for a while.
Okay, Alex, you just drive. You drive.
Just get out of New York. Find a motel.
Yeah, New York. So I head up to Rochester. I head all the way out of the city.
Yep, fine.
You're going to head to
Just
Rochester. Okay.
somewhere where we wouldn't ordinarily go. Somewhere that we don't know.
Okay.
Go to Sleepy Hollow.
Well, Rochester is a fair old drive, isn't it? It's like I think it's 5 odd hours by the looks of it.
Oh, it's not what I had in mind.
But okay. You're just going to head out of town, out of New York.
Yeah,
For
I mean,
maybe
it's
a couple
really
of hours, and then find the nearest motel, basically.
Yeah.
Somewhere that you can stay overnight. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Find a small town. We're going to have to find a drugstore that will develop photos, which will be entertaining for whoever does it, unless we
Yeah.
do it ourselves. And I don't want to risk ruining the negatives. So we're going to need to find somebody who can develop them we can trust.
Well, we'll head to Tarrytown. It's only about an hour north, just along the coast of the Hudson River.
Okay.
Small, wealthy place. Should be okay.
well, once
So-
we've got a bit of distance from the city and I've got my wits about me a bit more, I'll tell the others in a bit more detail what I saw down in the cellar about the symbols on the wall, which had a strange effect.
You're sure that it was Jackson?
100%.
So as certain as I can be, it was Jackson, definitely.
Well, how did they get his body?
It was it wasn't just Jackson. It was Jackson exactly how we last saw him. And testings and all.
He had the same mortal injuries that we saw, and that same awful symbol carved into his forehead, as did all the others.
Others?
There were how many legs? 3, 4, 4, I think.
Or
So
memory in and out. We'll check the pictures. Jackson kind of stole my gaze, but yes, pretty sure there's 4 of them.
So would that correspond to the number of murder victims that we're aware of?
I believe so.
How did they get the bodies? I mean, maybe the police are involved.
No, the bodies were mobile, but they came at us. There were
Yeah, but I'm
there were
assuming
bodies.
They were so quick.
But I'm assuming that whatever ceremony they did to get those bodies down there, they would have had to have got them from the mortuary, unless they walked there of their own accord, which would be impossible without them being spotted, which suggests that they've got contacts with the authorities that they could gain access to the body to do whatever it is they did down there to reanimate them.
The curtain
As
I
insane
pulled,
as that sounds.
the curtain I pulled back had symbols on. There was something about them. I think they may be magical. If they were keeping the dead at bay, there was definitely something strange about them.
Oh, we saw Jackson's funeral. That coffin was heavy, wasn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
soil, a sack of grain is heavy. We don't know that he was in there, do we?
No. Closed casket and all that.
Yeah.
I know we're headed the wrong way now, but
Well, I'm not going to go digging up his coffin.
I think we are. Somebody is. Once we've got these photos, someone's going to double check.
Yeah.
And what was the stone slab with the winch? It looked like it may be covering a pit, or what was
Maybe
in
that's
there?
where they throw sacrifices down there or something. Well, we're not going back to find out, are we? But it would be hard for them to move a pit if they're hiding evidence. Unless they destroy the entire place, it's still going to be there if we ever need to go back. Not that I would. What does this get us? We've got the photographs. What the hell do we do with that? And okay, it just proves what we suspected, that there is an active cult killing and reanimating corpses in New York. What do we do with that information?
No one's going to believe us. I think we're
And how
insane.
do we stop it? Because we've got to stop it because they'll keep doing it.
We don't know who's involved apart from Kwame and the unnamed people that we've seen.
Well, so we need to find somebody. I don't know whether you're going to get any answers out of someone if you manage to question them anyway. And if we take it upon ourselves to do away with the cult members, then that puts us over a line. We didn't kill anybody this evening. We could have. It was close, but I hadn't quite reached the point where I was willing to shoot somebody on the off chance. That's why I let him go. But now we've seen what we've seen. What do we do if we encounter someone like that again? We know what they're doing. They're never going to stand trial for it, and they'll keep doing it. So we need to decide what we're willing to do to stop them.
It's difficult because we don't know how deep each individual is. For example, the police could just be taking some money to protect a building. They don't know what's in it. They're mainly guilty of not asking enough questions.
Yeah.
The same be true of our African friends, that they're just supposed to protect the room. And
what are you saying? They had a wildness about them in their eyes that suggested more than...
but not so wild that they wouldn't stop when guns pointed at them.
Yeah. And we've seen the ones that killed Jackson, they kept coming even when they were hit repeatedly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's levels of involvement, you're right. So we kill anyone with association?
Remember how all this started? This was Jackson investigating the massacre of the Carlisle expedition. It was him who connected that with what was described as a blood cult. And it must have been this cult.
Oh, it was them that killed him.
But I wonder if we need to follow the Carlisle link.
But we can't leave them active in New York. We've disrupted them for now.
But the only thing we know about is the location. We don't know any of the prime movers, anyone who's doing this apart from Kwame.
So we do what? Leave them to it?
Can we try Lieutenant Poole again?
Well, you say you took some photographs of the symbols. We try and identify what those symbols mean. If we can find out more information about this cult, perhaps we can talk to somebody who's more knowledgeable about it, and then that will provide us with a direction to take.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't uncover any direct evidence that linked JuJu House with the murders, because the headdresses, the knives had gone, but the evidence that we found in the cellar and the photographs must count for something.
Well, animated corpses, although obviously it's a photograph, but no one's going to believe that they're moving. They could just say that they were posed. but at the very least, body theft is illegal.
It's hard to see how Lieutenant Poole could ignore that unless he's been got at.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Mm.
The animation part is a stretch, but just having Elias's body is a crime. I hope he hasn't wandered off whilst we head to Tarrytown.
And your photographs may show the other victims, which Paul may be able to identify.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get these photos developed and talk to Paul.
Okay, so it's it's obviously the middle of the night when you arrive at Tarrytown, because it was already like pretty late when you.
Late doors, yeah.
Yeah. In fact, it's probably so late that you probably can't even get into a motel really, because so it might be a case of having to sleep in the car unless you go.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's quite a rural place. We can find somewhere really, really quiet and just rest up and then head into the main town later.
it's going to get cold pretty quick in the car.
Yeah.
Well, got our overcoats. There's our
Well, we just have to turn the engine on every now and again.
Yeah, body heat. Alexa, I noticed you sort of putting your hand at your side. Did you strain something? Did you open the wound when we're in that house? Do you want me to take a look at it?
Yeah, we can wait till the morning.
Yeah, there's not really many hours left till morning, to be honest. It's probably only about 3.5 hours before sun up. So once you've driven to Tarrytown and then kind of rested up for a couple of hours, the sun already starts coming up. So yeah, it's not very comfortable in the car. Like I said, but you can just turn the engine on now and again, and the four of you in there still manage to keep it warm enough to get some rest.
Yeah, I don't think we're really going to be sleeping that much anyway, are we, to be honest?
No, not really. Okay, so once it becomes early enough for the rest of the civilization to start moving around again, what are you doing heading into try and find someone to develop the photographs?
Yeah, we need a chemist. Yeah. Drugstore.
What are we going to tell him, that we found the film from Halloween last year? Or are we?
I'm not going to tell them anything. I'll tell them that they need to not be so damn nosy and mind their own business what's on my photos. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but
that's what I'll tell them.
He also might contact the police once he sees what's on there.
Tell him that we work for a theatre company, dressing sets.
How about here's $10. Shut the front door.
Yeah, if you don't want to end up like that, do what you're told.
Okay.
All right, we'll have to put the frighteners on him.
So what approach are you taking? Are you to ensure that the friendly chemist of Tarrytown isn't? How are you going to approach it?
I'm just going to go in and ask for it to be developed, and not going to say anything. Why bring it to anyone's attention? If they bring it up, I will deal with it.
We need them. We need to. How long is it going to take for?
Yeah,
to
I'll
develop
ask.
them? Yeah,
it takes 10 minutes for each photo.
Right. In which case, we'll if you go in on your own, then you'll wait there, see what his reaction is when he brings them back out.
Yep.
At which point we'll have words if he says anything.
Okay.
It's not going to be a problem. I can be very persuasive.
Okay. So I'm assuming that you don't have photography skill, Lex. It comes under art and crafts, so I'd imagine that you probably don't have it.
No, that's correct.
So, okay, can I get you to make a?
Sorry, wait. So was it come under art and crafts? Where's
art
that?
and craft, yeah.
I can't see that. Oh,
no, it's not actually there. You have to fill it in, don't you?
You have to fill it in. Specific.
So we're all really good at it.
Yeah. So can I get you to make you'll have a 5% chance.
Aaron, I have got a skill which I don't know if it might extend to it or not.
What's that?
Forgery.
Swim. I look at forgery. Oh my god.
Forgery. In what way?
Well, as in forging false ID papers, for example, taking photos, developing them.
I don't know. That's what you mean. Yeah. I mean that might help, but unfortunately, it wasn't you that was taking the photos. So,
anyway, I'm not sure I'd want to risk trying to develop them myself anyway, because if I screw it up,
sanity roll. Do you have to make a sanity roll of taking photographs, seeing something on there that you failed, you succeeded the first time, but you now fail the second time you see it?
Just lose slightly less sanity this time around.
Okay. Lex. So first of all, can I get you to make a roll, please? Because you do have a 5% photography skill.
Okay, 53.
Okay,
more
and
than
that
five.
Photos
right.
of someone's feet.
Can I get you to make a luck roll, please?
86.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to wait for the photographs to be developed.
Yeah.
The chemist kind of comes back out
All got
after
stickers on them.
Stop giving him ideas.
Just about to say that. I wasn't going to say they got stickers on them, but the chemist comes out and says, "I'm sorry, but a lot of these are just dark, and they're just a few shapes. Haven't really come out very well. There's a few of them like that. So you look at them, all the ones that you took in the corridor, all the symbols are all okay. Yep. And all the ones that you took of the zombies are kind of, they're really hard to make out what they actually are. There's a couple that you can see the kind of the shadowy shape, and there's a couple that are quite shaky and blurred that are quite close up. You can see what they are because you were there, but for others it might be a bit more difficult. The best one, which is of Jackson, is you can see Stanton and Douglas. You can see that it is actually Jackson, but it is quite blurred. So you're not sure whether anybody else will actually believe that or not.
We're going to have to hire a party photographer, aren't we?
Are we still going to take this to Paul?
What's he gonna say?
Are there any photos of that stone chamber showing the slab and the well?
Well, I assume that you would have taken a photo of that. You didn't specifically say it, Lex, but that was the whole point, wasn't it? You just take photos of anything that looked incriminating. So that photo would have come out fine. All the ones that of just mundane things like that. It's only the ones of
the action shots.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, should we examine those then? Maybe if there's any symbols on the lid, that might tell us what purpose it serves.
Yeah, I'll have a look at those and see if I can make out what they mean.
Okay, yeah, there are lots of symbols inscribed in the stone, the huge stone block. They're very similar to the ones that are photographed all around that particular chamber as well, and different to the ones that are in the corridor. But they are just totally alien. You've never seen anything like them before.
Thought I'd recognise at least some of them, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's it. You've got there's symbols that you've never seen in all your years of perusing occult tomes. You've never seen the like. Did somebody just drop off them?
Andy.
Yeah.
So something even more esoteric than what I've experienced before. Although encountering Walking Dead is not something that happens every day. Now what?
And I'm just checking something. Hold on.
Ridiculously, it doesn't actually gain us very much, does it? What happened?
No, we didn't come away with it. When I was looking through the drawers for a key, didn't find anything in those. Obviously, what we'd want is some ledgers with names, and we didn't see any of those.
Addresses.
That's for you're looking like quite hard through this stone or these symbols, see whether there's any that you can recognise. And suddenly, obviously, as you can appreciate, it's quite difficult because they're quite small photos. But you suddenly see something that kind of triggers a memory at the back of your mind, and looking closer, obviously you kind of right up to your eyes with your glasses. One of the symbols looks really similar to the symbol that Larkin had on his chest. Remember the spiral, kind of weird spirally symbol with the
large tattoo.
You're pretty certain. The more you look at it, you're pretty certain that is exactly the same symbol.
Points it out to Jacob. Hey, Jacob, look at this. Hi, Andy. Oh no, he's not back enough. So
You there, Andy? No.
Right, I'm back.
Hey.
Too many people trying to use the internet in the house. It seems to crash the router.
So Stanton has something to tell you.
Yeah.
I'll hand him my magnifying glass and point at a particular symbol. Do you recognise that one? It's the one from that Larkin had on his chest.
The spiral one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
The spiral coming out of a man's body.
You first notice it on the photograph that Lex took of the stone slab. But actually, now that you come to re-examine some of the other photos of that particular chamber, you notice that it appears several times around the walls.
So do we think that that means that they're worshippers of that, or that's what's living in the pit?
Was Larkin dead? And he was a walking corpse animated by
didn't
this symbol?
He didn't smell that bad, did he? I
Mm.
mean, he smelled bad, but he also had
Yeah.
He also, from what you said, these.
You trailed off there. I was like, oh, that might be.
No, I was just thinking that he had magical abilities
That's true.
that those zombies, from what you're saying, didn't appear to. Well, other than the fact they didn't appear to be hurt when you hit them, they weren't casting anything. They were physical.
We didn't give them
Enough
that
time
much
to do anything.
time, but yes,
Yeah.
you're right. It seemed to be physical.
Well, we need to do some additional research on what that symbol means.
The only thing I can think of is the missing book, not the tome from the JuJu house, but the one from the university library.
Did we have anything?
Miskatonic.
Well, we could go to the Miskatonic and ask. Was there anything from Peru that we brought back with us? Jackson wrote about this. Or was there anything in his book that might help us?
What, in the book that he wrote about?
He wrote afterwards about our experiences in Peru, whether he did any additional research, whether he did try to follow up on what that symbol meant. I know he tried to disguise a lot of it, but whether he connected that symbol.
You've all read the book, but no, there wasn't any revelation of that nature, unfortunately. So yeah, you know that he was continuing that, and that's what he was doing. He was, after he wrote the book, he was then spending the time trying to research more into what that was, which led him into
this.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we can assume that there was a connection. Who kept the mask? Did Jackson take the mask?
No, I think I've got it, haven't I?
Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah, I've
have you tried it since?
Hang on, I've described it. I've written it down as a mirror from Augustus.
Yeah, that's it. It's a mask on one side and a mirror on the other. Yep.
I've not dared use it again.
I wonder if it.
Well, no. Rabbit holes. You probably wear it and then it would just take you straight back to Peru. I don't know. Maybe next time we're back, we can have another look at it. If it is, this symbol suggests that it's connected to what we're seeing here is connected back to Peru. That is the only artifact we have, and it's obviously have some kind of connection to whatever was in the pyramid. If there's another manifestation of it in the pit, maybe it will show us that. I don't know. Does it work on whatever manifestation it's closest to? I don't know. Maybe it's now we've sealed the pyramid. Maybe it doesn't work at all. Maybe it's entirely unconnected. I've no idea.
Maybe it works on.
You need to sleep, Douglas. You're
rambling, man.
And what could possibly link a blood cult from East Africa and what we saw in Peru? Obviously, the same symbol is linking the two, but
it's a network, isn't it? So the Africa, Peru, New York, Egypt, Singapore. This sounds like a cult which is bigger, or even London. If
these are ancient cults, these were from time immemorial, before people could have travelled halfway across the world to spread the same message and the same idea.
And that's the theory I've been looking into over the years, is the links between ancient civilizations, which you'd think couldn't happen with the technology with the travel that we understand that people had. The capabilities of the ships shouldn't happen, but I've seen the same symbol in many places across the world, but not enough to conclusively say that certain civilizations were linked. And I'll sort of fumble underneath my shirt and pull out my pendant, which you see as a 7-pointed star with an all-seeing eye in the middle of it. And that led me to Peru, but we've seen it in Egypt. I've seen it in North America here with the Cherokee Indian. This is the symbol that appears in many cultures. So that's why I believe that ancient civilizations can be linked. And it seems in this case, it could well be these death cults.
So where does this take us? What do we do? What do we do with this information? So if we've got connected cults, what are they doing in New York? We know what was going on in Peru, and what they were doing in Peru was getting worse. Then if we hadn't stopped them, something terrible was going to happen. I suspect they're not just sitting quietly here, conducting the odd ritual, murdering and animating people as a hobby. There is an end to what they're doing.
Well, in Peru, they seem to be feeding an entity.
Might there be more to be found in that cellar under that slab?
Well, exactly. But if that isn't a sacrificial pit, like the charnel pit at the pyramid, why does it have such a big slab over it? What's it for? Is it to keep people out, or is it to keep something in? And we spent all that time in Peru stealing something in. If we go down there and open that, and there's something in there that shouldn't be let out, what have we just done? We need to do some research on what these symbols mean before we go down there and open it up without knowing what's inside. I mean, there could be nothing in there, but you thought there was nothing behind that curtain.
Okay.
Also, what's the chances of us getting back in there now anyway?
Well, the only chance is if we can go in, perhaps officially, with the backing of Lieutenant Poole and perhaps some muscle, some backup.
Well, we've got enough evidence to suggest that there is occult activity going on there, and that in and of itself is going to be illegal. It's enough. It should be enough for a warrant.
It should, and unless he's been
really
got
nobbled
by Robertson. But then he's either going to continue avoiding us, in which case there's no way of getting his support, or we could see if what we've got is enough to get a warrant for him to go in.
Well, also, what's going to happen when we go back into New York? We can fully expect to get picked up. What do we do? Just deny all knowledge? Don't know what you mean, officer. We were out of town.
Yeah, took a trip to Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah. I mean, unless the gentlemen who we encountered in there are willing to make statements, which I doubt they would be.
I think we've got to go see the lieutenant.
I think we need to do it quickly because they already cleared out the attic, removed the book. Kwame has gone. I mean, we don't know what else might be down there in the cellar, but the longer we leave it, the more chance they have to cover their tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the evidence is slipping through our fingers.
Quite frankly, at this stage, we're too level to go to the Underdark anyway. So, I mean, sorry, that's the first thing I thought. That's turning.
So we go and see Lieutenant Poole.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so you're going to head back down to the Big Apple and take your hire car back to Precinct 7A, which is where Lieutenant Poole hangs out. Okay, it's a wintry drive once again. All of your bones are aching with cold and the cramp of all the night's exertions, plus the being sleeping in a car. You've all got a kind of sallow appearance from all the kind of everything that's happened to you and constant thoughts that are going through your mind, trying to work out what the hell is going on, what you can do about it. So you, when you park up outside Precinct 7A and troop in there, I was going to say like a group of zombies, so that's probably a bit too close to the mark.
Too soon, man.
Too soon.
Okay, so yeah, you're back in Precinct 7A, and you go up to the desk where you're familiar. The desk sergeant looks at you. Yawns. What can I do for you?
I'd see Lieutenant Poole, please.
Okay, who is it?
Douglas Blake.
Is he expecting you?
He's not. No.
Can I tell him what it's about? The lieutenant's a busy man. He doesn't normally take walk-ins.
No, but he'll know what it's concerning.
He rings. Okay. I got 4 guys down here want to see you. Blake? Right. He said you will know what it's about. Okay. Yeah, follow me.
Okay, follow him.
Okay, you follow. All of you follow him. the desk sergeant takes you up 2 flights of stairs, and eventually you arrive down a few winding corridors into Lieutenant Pool's office. The desk sergeant knocks on the door. Pool says, "Come in," and takes you inside. And then the sergeant goes. Pool is still is sat at his desk, kind of his tie halfway around his neck. Looks like he's been up for quite a long time. Looks really tired. He's got like 3 or 4 empty cups of coffee strewn around his desk. And he looks up at you and says, "Geez, you look as shit as I do."
Yeah, it's been a heavy night. Thought you were avoiding us.
Yeah, it kind of was. It's been... I had a visitor. Our friend Captain Robson.
Yeah, we saw that you'd had a visit. Not too unpleasant, I hope.
Yeah. Well, when Robson wants to be unpleasant, it is always too unpleasant. The bastard threw me and my family.
We must have him rattled.
Tell me you have something on him, for God's sake.
Well, we have something, but whether we can tie it to him, I don't know. We managed to get some photos. They might not be quite what you'd hope for, but hopefully it's enough to get a warrant to investigate the JuJu house. Show him the photographs. Starting with the ones on the walls saying, so this is in their cellar. It's obviously some...
Hold on a minute. So when did you get these?
You don't want to know that.
I probably need to know.
We broke in.
When?
Last night.
The door was off its hinges already.
Okay, so you broke in. Right, he starts looking through them. So what are these?
So there is some kind of religious occult activity going on in the cellar. Those symbols are occult symbols. The murders that have been going on have been related to some kind of religious ceremony, and that's their base of operations. These symbols, if you have them examined by academics, should be able to prove that they are related to a death cult. Now, this next bit, you're not going to believe, but we're telling you this anyway because we have a policy of honesty with you. In that cellar, we found Jackson Elias's body and the body of 3 others who appear to have been killed in the same way. So we're assuming they were the bodies of the victims.
You found Elias's body?
Yes, but we saw him buried.
Yeah,
so either somebody dug him up or he wasn't in that coffin.
Yeah, well, I had a phone call from the cemetery yesterday to say that his body's been stolen out of the mausoleum.
Well, we found it. Unfortunately, the photos we took didn't come out too well. This one, showing the one of Jackson. If you knew what Jackson looked like, you could probably make him out, but I don't know whether this is high enough quality. It was a pretty terrifying experience. We had to beat a hasty retreat. Plus, Robson's flunkies were on their way, so we had to get out fast. But there's stuff down there that is heavy enough for them not to be able to move it. So if you get a warrant, you can see what's down there.
What the hell is this big stone, this circle thing?
This thing, we don't know. We don't know. It looks like a pit of some description. We didn't have an opportunity to open it.
It's going to be difficult going to the captain with this.
Well, the body's in there. I don't know how you spin that to him, but the body's been stolen and that's where it is. Or that's where it was last night. If it's still there, I'd be surprised. They've moved a lot of stuff since the last time we were there. It looks like they may be clearing out. And if they're relocating, then we may not be able to find them again. But they'll find it difficult to move that pit.
And what is in that pit? The symbols, I can assure you, a lot of them are occult symbols that are linked with death cults.
Yeah, well, we knew the death cult angle before, didn't we?
But
now we know where they're based.
We now have proof.
Where does Robson fit into all this?
Tap the photos.
Where does what, sorry?
Where does Robson fit into all this?
Well, he's protecting that location. Now, whether he's involved in the cult or he's just taking the money, we don't know. Hopefully he's innocent. Well, innocent to the extent that he's not involved in the cult.
He might have no idea what's happening in there. It's just a building to protect for cash.
Now, he may, if you take this to him, this evidence that is tied directly to a place that he's protecting, that could get quite hot for him.
Yeah, I know, but all the zombie stuff, I mean, come on. It's not going to look good on me, is it?
Well, who said anything about zombies? We're just talking about body snatching for religious purposes. Grave robbing is a crime, is it not?
Yeah, it
He's
is.
not gonna want to risk his career protecting somebody that's doing that.
Can you not go in, Lieutenant? We know the murders are linked to a death cult. As soon as you take one step in that cellar, it's clearly linked to a death cult. Following the trail.
Look, Blake, you do this job. Look, if you think there's something in this, do you?
Well, if you take out any of the more weird stuff that you're not going to be able to explain in a court, there's still enough here to get someone arrested.
And there may be more down there.
There's bodies down there, and there's going to be more if we don't stop them. They're not done killing people, and this is our one opportunity to stop them before they go underground again.
Okay, so saying that I was on board with you, what would you want me to do?
Get a warrant so that we can get into that cellar and take proper photographs, collect evidence, close them down,
Search it.
bring and Kwame in, question him. He might know. He might give us names of other people who are involved.
And we can get Jackson.
Yeah, they're stealing bodies out of graveyards. God knows what they're doing. One of them was a woman, for God's sake.
I know, it's sick, isn't it?
It is. It's fanatical. It's unchristian.
Problem is, getting me a warrant isn't going to be that easy, and it's going to take time. We don't have time, from what you're telling me.
No, we don't. We've never spoken to Robson. If you took this to Robson and told him that what's going on in that shop, do you think
I can't risk it with the evidence that we've got. I need more evidence to be able to take it to Robson, because he's made it pretty clear that my career is over if I even speak to you again about these events. Not only is my career over, there's other things too, but I'm not going to get into that. We've all made mistakes. Unfortunately, Robson is a good man, has a good nose for mistakes, if you understand me.
It's high risk for us, but if we want the police to search that place, the best thing for us to do is to be in there and for Robson's police to come in and find us, and they'll see it because we'll be standing next to it. Look at the other. If we go down to the cellar or wait at the entrance to the cellar until Robson's police turn up, they'll be forced to act because they will see the bodies. Because they're not going to be wanting to fight and arrest us when they see that.
No. Ah, jeez. Okay.
And that doesn't put you at any risk, Paul. We just hope that they don't come in shooting.
So you want to go back in there, do you?
No, but we will, because that seems to be the only way that we'll be able to get the police into that building to see what we've seen. Unless anyone's got a better idea.
Not really.
I'll look at everybody else. Does that work for you? And we can go in during the day. We just go over there now and we just pile in, wait for the police to turn up.
And then, so run that by me again.
We head over there right now.
Yeah.
We head in. We won't need to break back in because the door's damaged.
Right.
We head in. We wait for the police to turn up, which they will do because the place is being watched. When the police turn up, we'll already have the cellar open and we'll be down, and we will call for them to come down saying that we're unarmed and they should come down, and they can arrest us down there, but they need to see what we can see, and then we see where they go from there.
Yeah, but you're trusting the fact that Robson, we don't know how far Robson's in on this though, do we?
No, but we know that the police will turn up, and if it turns out that they come in shooting, then, well, you'll have a couple of dead Englishmen, a Canadian and an American that Robson's going to have to explain away.
But, yeah, I can see that you're not going to go away on this. And there's something about it tells me that you wouldn't be coming to me if you didn't need me. And I kind of need to do something. This bastard Robson's had it over me for a long time. Got to do something about it. I'm embarrassed.
Well, we can call Robson. Call Robson. I mean, he'd probably come and meet us, or he'd send his men. But if we tell him to meet us at the JuJu house to finish it.
Yeah, I like it. I tell you what,
Brilliant, sweetheart.
we'll do that. I'll get some men I can trust. I'll phone Robson, tell him to meet me there. He'll meet me if I tell him, and then we'll go in.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't like it, then well, what have we lost? I've not lost anything anyway. I'm just trusting you that
Well, we just have to hope that they haven't been able to move what's in there.
Yeah, that's the risk. Maybe we just go in without Robson. Maybe I'll just get some of my men. In a couple of hours we meet up, and then we just head over there and see what we can find. That way, if we find nothing, then what's the worst that can happen?
Well, that's fine. We'll get our evidence either way.
Let's do that. You know what? Let's fucking do that. He banged his hand on the desk. I've had enough of this shit. Robson, we're going to take him down. Right, okay. He gets up, he shakes you all by the hand, says, we're going to take him down. He kind of pulls his clothes back on, brushes his hair a little bit. Right, okay. Where are we going to meet?
Corner of
Meet you
street.
I'll meet you at on the alleyway outside Ransom Court then. Maybe. Can you give me 3 hours?
Sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, give me 3 hours to get some men together, and don't go in on your own or do anything stupid before I get there.
All right, we'll wait on you.
Excellent. I'll see you there.
Right, see you there. Sleeve. Did he seem genuine with that, or did he seem
You feel like
nervous,
he seemed
like he was going to lure us into a situation and then we're all going to end up dead? Kind of situation.
Oh, that's specific
Very
psychology
specific.
skill.
Yeah.
That's specific.
Very specific bluff. Yeah.
Yeah. Did he look from the way he was acting there?
Okay.
Did it feel like he was setting us up?
Okay, so let me just have a look. Psychology, probably.
Yeah. Is he pulling a fast one?
Okay, I'm going to roll it. No, you felt like you didn't feel like that at all. You felt like it was a weight off his shoulders. You felt like he was towards the end of the conversation, especially. He was really pleased that he'd made that decision, and that he was genuinely looking forward to the opportunity to kind of get Robson off his back once and for all, whichever way it went.
Okay.
That's kind of how you read it.
Yeah.
You also feel like the connection that he had with you, particularly because he knows that you have been a policeman or are a policeman. Was what probably made the difference, because he does seem to trust you more than the others.
Fair enough. Oh, we're so dead.
So it's all your fault.
Right. Is there anything else additionally we want to take with us?
I'm worried about these animated people.
Do you think?
Well, obviously, but if a firearm's going to work against them, what can we use if they attack us or the police?
Run in,
Do what we did last time and run.
But should they be better off with batons or even swords?
Does everybody want to make an occult roll, please?
What, to find out if we think we want swords?
Well,
I definitely don't want a sword.
Yeah, I doubt garlic and holy wafers is going to do much.
I've got a hard success.
Oh, nice.
No.
I've rolled an 11, which is still a fail for me.
Hard success for Stanton.
I rolled 66. I just needed another 6 and I'm sorted.
Okay, hold on.
What, you'd be bending them to your will? Yeah, so hard success for Stanton and Jack.
Okay, both. Okay. So between Stanton and Jacob, you both kind of have a bit of a chat about what you know about, obviously what you've read about reanimated creatures, zombies, whatever you want to call them. Voodoo, yeah, JuJu, folklore, magic. And you both come to the agreement that law would suggest that the only way you can injure them is by attacking their head.
So shoot them in the head should work.
Yes, or beheading.
Yeah. All right. Well, any catastrophic head injury.
Yeah.
Not shaving cuts then.
Okay. Do you want to go back home or do anything before you meet up, or what are you going to do? You got 3 hours.
Has anybody got anything particularly good for decapitating zombies? I think I'm just going to stick with my pistol.
I'm going to reload my pistol when I think about it.
Nice.
Yeah, nobody said they'd reloaded it, so you run out of bullets.
Yeah, I haven't reloaded since Peru.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So what's happening in the 3 hours? You're obviously currently just outside the police station at the moment in precinct 7A.
I'm going to write my last will and testament.
You haven't done that yet.
We haven't eaten for hours.
No,
yeah,
not
that's
yet.
true, yeah.
You've already
Yeah.
had breakfast. You had breakfast before you left. Came
Oh,
back
did
down.
we? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Second breakfast then.
So, a major segment of this group's life is which diner are we going to next?
Yeah.
I'm
Do
gonna
we
have
get
to
any?
do
Do we get an
I'm
increase?
Investigators never.
an
Do we
increase
get an
what?
increase in our size?
Decrease it in appearance.
Movement
Yeah.
rate goes down, but size goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on what eateries were around in 1920s New York.
Yeah.
So I can give you a list. You can tick them off then. Yeah. Okay. So aside from grazing, is there anything else that you wanted to do in particular in terms of?
I don't think so. Bit late in
Would
the day
there
to go on
be?
a photography
This
course,
is a high risk strategy, but if we're worried about being double crossed or worried about Robson's reaction, is it worth tipping off the journalist? If all this happens in the full glare of publicity, just an idea.
Well, you can invite her along.
No, tell her tell her what that she might be interested in it.
Well, I guess in a
Well,
way
is
it
he-
does give us a level of insurance.
Or it gets her killed.
Well, you'd hope that standing behind two sets of police and the four of us, such as we are, might give her a little bit of a chance.
Just an
A
idea.
little bit of a chance. That's okay then.
Well, I
What
was,
percent chance has she got?
I was understating it. I'm sure she'd be safer than just accompanying us on her own or going there without anyone else. Talked about before.
Well,
But
perhaps we could,
say,
if
what
it comes to it, perhaps we could tell Robson that we have tipped off the journalist and she's been watching. It might be a bluff, but
Yeah, but if Robson's in the cult, we've just signed her a death warrant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep her
And
out.
even if she's not, he'll just probably put the frighteners on her anyway.
but it's quite bold of Robson to. I know once we're in there, we're at his mercy. But if she knows what's going on and she's watching from outside, and we don't come out,
What we have the benefit of knowing that he's gone down and we're dead.
just an idea. Like Stan said, it might
No,
be a bit of insurance.
I'm just a bit loath to bring her into it because it doesn't really get as much insurance. Because if Robson's involved in the cult, he's going to kill anybody. He's going to kill us. So it's basically a kill or be killed scenario. So we're going to have to kill Robson, and then we're going to have to worry about how we explain that away.
Is
Or-
Robson really going to conduct a massacre in daylight
If he's
hours
in
in the middle of
If he's in
Harlem?
the cult,
Well, he won't because he'll be doing it in a cellar.
yeah. If he's in the cult, then yes. Really, our only hope is that he's just taken the money.
Yeah. And once he sees what he's protecting, he comes to his senses. Or he decides that the best way to cover up what he's done is to kill us all. I mean, the way I kind of see this going down is at some point we're going to have to kill Robson because he's going to try and kill us. It's just why he's trying to kill us. That's how I see this going down.
I'm feeling a little bit more positive than that.
Okay, so am I to assume then that the answer to my question is no when I ask if there's anything else that you want to do before the meetup? Or
No, clean my gun. That's it.
okay, so wait, none of you are going to go back home or go anywhere?
Oh,
other
no.
than-
No.
New.
Okay, cool. So you just hang around in a diner, eating and generally being smelly and tired.
Quite tempted to go and see if I can find find somebody that I can buy a Thompson submachine gun off.
Yeah, because you can do that in 3 hours.
Yeah. Depends who you know.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Well, given how bad I am with a shotgun.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we will leave it there then at 7 o'clock. And we will begin next week with you guys driving towards destiny, as it were.
The sanity-sapping secrets of the JuJu house have started to be revealed, and the investigators got a nice trip to the countryside. Please join us next week when we try to get the police on board on Steady Rollerman Presents.